Hey there. Hello and welcome. This is Bijane Kareem, the Grant Guru, representing BK International Education Consultancy. And for tonight's live, we will talk about the truth about classroom grants while dispel some common misconceptions about grants. So let's dig in. Let's get into it. Before I do, I want to talk to you a little bit about BK International Education Consultancy. Our mission is to strengthen educators' practices to best serve youth, and that including providing innovative access to educational resources, spaces, and learning. And we do this through program development, curriculum design, as well as continuing education and training, specifically around STEAM education. And as tonight's topic, grant writing. We want educators to be able to tap into funding that's out there to create innovative learning spaces to better serve youth. So for tonight, our objectives will be to dispel those common grant misconceptions, as I mentioned, as well as to define what is a grant? What is a grant actually? And our overall hope and outcome is to help build your knowledge and confidence to be able to write grants to increase student supports. So let's start off with the first question. First question is grants are only for nonprofits. What are your thoughts on that? Is that true or is that false? This is one that I get asked all the time. Grants are only for nonprofits. Well, that's actually false. Grants are not just for nonprofits. Grants um, can be for small businesses, they can be for individuals, they can be for nonprofits, they also can be for educators. So, I want to dispel that common myth. Grants are not just for nonprofits. How about this next one that I get asked all the time? You have to pay grants back. Is that true or is that false? And that's a tricky one. Do you have to pay grants back? That is actually false. You do not have to pay grants back. That's the beauty of them. They're different from a loan. Usually with loans, you have to pay them back, right? You usually with interest as well. But with the grant, provided that you are following all the guidelines, you do not have to pay these funds back. And they're a great way for educators to get what they need for their classrooms to make their lessons and their classroom environment learning, engaging, innovative, and also just to fully stock your classroom with those basic things that you need, whether it's PPE, personal protective equipment, Lysol wipes, books, devices, all those things. Next question. Now, here's one. This is my question to you all. How much money do you think was awarded in grant funds in 2017? So, this is pre the COVID pandemic. But how much money in the US, let me even add that in there, do you think was awarded in 2017? Take a minute, think about that. Now, usually I get a couple 100,000. I often also see some million. The actual answer is billions, okay? Billions of dollars. So if there are billions of dollars in grant money out there, why are 94% of teachers spending out of their own pockets to stock their classrooms? I don't know, but I definitely want to help change that narrative. So let's continue learning more and unpack these misconceptions about grants so that you feel more confident as an educator to write your own grants for your own classroom or your own daycare or for your own school. Another question is, which of the following typically do not fund grants? So different places that you can go to tap into the grants, but who usually probably doesn't give out grant money? Is it A, foundations, B, government, C, crowdfunding, or D, corporations? Hmm, is it A, B, C, or D? So for simplistic purposes, I'm going to say the answer is D, corporations. The largest funder of grants is going to be B, the government, followed by A, foundations, C, crowdfunding. Corporations usually don't give out grants, but they do provide some other donations or sponsorships that you may not have to pay back. We'll get into that in another episode. All right. And another question for you. I get asked this all the time. You have to have a degree or certificate to write grants. What do you all think about that? Is that true or is that false? You have to have a special certificate or degree to write grants. That's right, that is false. You do not have to have a special certificate or degree to write grants. I was a classroom teacher for several years and I wrote plenty of grants without having to have an extra grant writing certificate or degree. So I say that to say is that as a teacher, you too have the foundational skills to start tapping into grants and grant writing. How about this? You can buy whatever you want with grant funds. Is that true or is that false? And let me tell you, there are a lot of dollars out there. We saw there were billions of dollars. Can you use those billions of dollars to buy whatever you want? That is false. No, you cannot. You cannot buy whatever you want with your grant funds. In another segment, we'll talk about budgets. And what you include in your budget is what the funder is expecting you to purchase only if you are awarded that grant. Okay. So you can't buy whatever you want. I wish. Last but not least, final question. Grants do not expire. So once you get a grant, it continues on unlimited, unrestricted. You're right. That is also false. That is not correct. Grants do have a life shelf on it. Typically, if you're in a classroom, you're going after a classroom grant, the grant is probably for about a year for your school year, so to speak. There are some that are what they call multi-year grants that may be extended a little bit longer, but they do have a time limit. They are time bound. So if you thought these questions were helpful, I want to go ahead and break down and unpack what exactly is a grant. So let's use these clues here, so these definitions as a tool. Grants, one, are non-repayable funds. They're awarded by one party, which we'll call funders, to an applicant. If you're an educator, this would be you in this case. And once the grant is awarded, it becomes a contract. So what you write in the grant, you have to deliver, you have to do. Special note, most grants are made to fund a specific project or program and require some level of compliance and reporting. So that means you have to follow some guidelines and also have to share out the outcomes of your grant project. Funders want to know, we gave you money to do good. Were you able to do good with it? Last but not least, as I just mentioned, grants are time limited. They can be 1 year, 3 year, maybe even 5 year if you're lucky, right? If these tips were helpful, there's a place that you can go in partnership with Amazon and Kindle Unlimited. You can get a free copy of my book, 12 Quick Steps to Writing Winning Classroom Grants. I'm going to say that again, 12 Quick Steps to Writing Winning Classroom Grants. You can get a free copy if you go to tiny.cc/teacher tips. That's case sensitive. That's tiny.cc/teacher tips to get your own copy of 12 quick steps to writing winning classroom grants. Not only do I dispel common misconceptions there, I also give you a 12-step proven method that works. It works time and time again. I've used it several times, so I know that it'll work for you. Something else that I also want to share is that it's the holiday spirit, and we have a Buy Books Change Live campaign where we are donating a copy of this book, 12 Quick Steps to Writing Winning Classroom Grants, which is our starter kit for educators. And you can do that by going to tinyurl.com/donate to teachers. That's also case sensitive. And give this holiday season, or if you know somebody who knows a teacher and wants to give and help donate, We are shipping these books across the country. So help and give back this holiday season. Help a teacher fully stock their classroom. And don't forget to stay connected. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, all those channels, all those platforms here. And we can't wait to see you in the new year. Have a great evening. Bye.